No matter where you live in Australia, you're never far from dangerous wildlife. Every state and territory has its own apex threat, from venomous snakes and deadly spiders to giant crocodiles and marine killers lurking just beneath the surface. Some of these animals live disturbingly close to homes, beaches, parks, and suburbs. We're counting down 8 regions, each paired with the one creature that makes it uniquely dangerous, building to an animal no one expects at the top. Starting at number 8, in a capital city where the country's deadliest snake slithers through backyards. 8th place belongs to the Australian Capital Territory, where danger can slip quietly beneath the surface of everyday life. In Canberra and its surrounds, the eastern brown snake is never far from the edge of suburbia. This species, responsible for the majority of snakebite deaths across the country, thrives in the ACT's patchwork of grasslands, farms, and residential gardens. It is not just the bush that hosts these snakes. Compost bins, drainage shafts, piles of rocks, and even tidy backyards offer perfect shelter. Brown snakes are drawn to places where rodents gather, making human-modified landscapes a frequent hunting ground. The risk is highest during the warmer months, especially at dawn and dusk, when snakes move to hunt or seek warmth. A single bite delivers venom potent enough to kill in under 30 minutes, and national records show that brown snakes caused 23 out of 35 snakebite deaths between 2000 and 2016. Canberra's own brush with this threat became headline news when a family discovered 19 hatchlings hiding in a towel and compost bin after a storm, an incident that ended with a hospital visit and a rapid response from local snake catchers. Most encounters happen when someone reaches into a place they cannot see, like a compost heap or under garden debris. That is why ACT authorities urge residents to keep grass short, tidy up yards, wear boots in the garden, and never try to handle a snake. Instead, a licensed snake catcher is just a phone call away. In the ACT, danger does not roar. It slips quietly through the grass, reminding locals that respect and vigilance are their best protection. Number 7 takes us south to Tasmania, where danger is woven into the landscape's quiet beauty. Here, the tiger snake stands as the island's most formidable reptile threat, its reputation built on both venom and stealth. Tiger snakes favour the wetlands, coastal dunes, and farm dams that dot the Tasmanian countryside. In these habitats, their banded bodies vanish into low vegetation or creekside grass, making them nearly invisible to anyone hiking or camping nearby. The real risk comes not from aggression, but from surprise. A footstep too close, a hand reaching into long grass, and suddenly the snake feels cornered. Its venom is a potent blend of neurotoxins and coagulants, fast-acting and capable of severe effects within hours if left untreated. Hikers on the overland track have shared stories of close calls. A large tiger snake coiled across the morning path, unmoving but alert, forcing trekkers to stop and wait before giving it a wide berth. Such encounters are a reminder that Tasmania's danger shifts with the terrain and the weather. Locals know to stick to marked tracks, wear sturdy boots, and avoid reaching blindly into undergrowth or around water's edge. Even farm dogs are kept on a leash near wetlands. On this island, respect for the tiger snake isn't just folklore. It's a practical lesson in living alongside one of Australia's most dangerous reptiles. Number 6 brings us to Victoria, where danger doesn't always announce itself with a hiss or a roar. It often lurks quietly in the corners of daily suburban life. Across Melbourne's leafy streets and regional towns, the most pressing threat isn't a headline-making predator, but the dangerous spiders that share our homes, sheds, and gardens. Here, the risk is measured not by rare encounters with a single infamous species, but by the steady reality of spiders hiding in shoes, under mulch, or beneath the rim of a garden pot. Funnel webs, redbacks, and their close relatives have adapted to Victoria's temperate climate, thriving in the damp, sheltered spaces that border every backyard and bush reserve. In the past, a bite from a funnel web or redback could trigger panic. Before the 1980s, fatalities were real and the fear well earned. Today, the story has shifted. Thanks to the widespread availability of antivenom, and the quick work of emergency departments, deaths from spider bites have become vanishingly rare. Yet the vigilance remains. Victorian hospitals still treat hundreds of suspected spider bites every year, and paramedics routinely respond to call-outs from anxious residents who find a glossy black spider in the laundry or a web tucked behind the wheelie bin. Practical advice shapes local habits. Shake out shoes before wearing them, keep garden beds tidy, and seal up cracks where spiders might enter. If a serious bite does occur, pressure immobilization and rapid medical care are the difference between a scare and a tragedy. In Victoria, the deadliest animal is not a distant threat, but a reminder that sometimes the most dangerous creatures are those we live alongside every day. Number 5 brings us to New South Wales, where the Sydney funnel web spider has become a symbol of urban danger woven into the state's daily life. In the humid gardens and shaded corners of Sydney's suburbs, this spider's presence is more than just a cautionary tale. Male funnel webs, especially during the warmer months, wander far from their burrowed retreats, turning up in shoes left on the back porch, piles of garden gloves, and even floating in the family pool. Their glossy black bodies and powerful fangs are matched by a defensive stance that's instantly recognizable, rearing up, legs outstretched, ready to strike if threatened. What sets the Sydney funnel web apart is its venom, a neurotoxin so potent it can cause life-threatening symptoms within minutes. Before 1981, a bite from this spider was often a medical emergency with a grim prognosis. The turning point came with the development of a dedicated anti-venom, pioneered in Sydney, which transformed survival rates overnight. Not a single fatality has been recorded since its introduction, yet the danger remains real. In 2017, a 10-year-old boy on the Central Coast was bitten after slipping his foot into a shoe left outside overnight. He needed a record 12 vials of anti-venom and spent hours in intensive care, but walked out of hospital the next day. Encounters like this are why New South Wales residents know to shake out shoes, wear gloves when gardening, and seek urgent medical help after any suspected bite. The Sydney funnel web spider's reputation is built not on myth, but on decades of real incidents and hard-won medical progress. In this state, danger is never far from the doorstep, and respect for this infamous arachnid is simply part of living in its territory. Number 4 brings us to Queensland, where danger steps out of the shadows and onto the rainforest trails. In the steamy north, the southern cassowary commands attention, not with venom, but with sheer physical presence. Adult cassowaries can reach 1.8 meters tall, towering over most hikers, and each foot is armed with a 7.5 centimeter inner claw, sharp as a dagger. These birds haunt the dense tropical rainforests from Mission Beach to the Daintree, thriving in tangled undergrowth where their deep blue necks and helmeted heads flash through the green. While they are usually shy, the real risk emerges when people ignore the rules. Between 1999 and 2002, Queensland recorded 8 serious cassowary attacks, 7 left victims with severe injuries, and 1 proved fatal. The pattern is clear. Most incidents followed someone feeding or trying to approach the bird. In 2022, a tourist on a Daintree trail learned this the hard way. After offering food, he was charged and kicked, suffering a deep leg wound and a fractured bone. Rangers responded quickly, but the lesson was unmistakable. Curiosity and boldness can turn a rainforest stroll into an emergency. Locals and park authorities have adapted with clear rules. Never feed cassowaries, keep at least 15 meters away, and back off slowly if one approaches. Queensland's Be Cassowary campaign is a fixture on trailheads, reminding everyone that respect is the best protection. In this part of Australia, the most dangerous animal isn't hidden or silent. It's a living relic with the power to demand distance, and a reminder that in the tropics, the biggest threat sometimes stares you straight in the eye. Coming to the top 3, South Australia's deadliest animal is a scientific outlier, a creature whose danger is measured not by body count, but by biochemistry. Deep in the remote, semi-arid heart of the state, the inland taipan commands global respect as the world's most venomous snake. Its venom, with an LD50 of just 0.025 milligrams per kilogram in mice, means a single bite contains enough toxin to kill dozens of adults in theory. Yet for all its fearsome reputation, the inland taipan is rarely seen by anyone but a handful of herpetologists and outback travelers. It lives far from towns, sheltering in deep cracks of clay and sandy soils, hunting native rodents where the land is sparse and the roads are few. There are no recorded human fatalities, none. The reason is simple: extreme shyness and isolation. Encounters are so rare that even experienced bushwalkers may never glimpse one in a lifetime. For South Australians, the threat is less about daily risk and more about the stark reminder that in the outback, danger can be absolute but distant. Anyone crossing these remote regions prepares with first aid kits, pressure bandages, and a sharp eye for the ground, because in this part of the continent, the most dangerous animal is a master of avoidance, and its legend is built on what could happen, not what has. Number 2 takes us to Western Australia, where the danger is as much about what you can't see as what you can. Along hundreds of kilometres of sun-bleached coastline, the reef stonefish waits, buried in the sand or nestled among rocks and coral. It's a master of disguise, almost indistinguishable from the seabed until it's too late. The stonefish holds the unenviable title of the world's most venomous fish, armed with 13 stout dorsal spines that can inject a neurotoxic venom in an instant. Unlike predators that stalk or chase, this threat is passive and patient, striking only when someone steps directly on top of it. The risk is real and painfully immediate. In Exmouth in 2024, a visiting paramedic described the sting as like being kicked by an elephant after he accidentally trod on a stonefish in shallow water. In Perth in 2019, 2 swimmers found themselves hospitalised after similar encounters. The pain is excruciating. Swelling sets in fast, and the only first aid is hot water immersion. 45 degrees Celsius is the benchmark, before urgent hospital care and, in severe cases, anti-venom. This hidden hazard has changed local habits. Western Australians know to shuffle their feet when wading, alerting stonefish before stepping down. Protective footwear is common in known habitats, and hot water containers are a staple on many beach outings. The stonefish's danger isn't about aggression or pursuit. It's the silent, accidental encounter that turns a casual dip into a medical emergency. In Western Australia, the deadliest animal is the one you never see coming, reminding everyone that the ocean's edge demands respect with every step. And finally, in first place, the Northern Territory stands alone as crocodile country, where the saltwater crocodile is both legend and lethal reality. Stretching from the tidal rivers of Kakadu to the mangrove-lined coast near Darwin, this is the domain of Australia's largest living reptile, an apex predator that can reach 6 meters in length and weigh over a ton. Saltwater crocodiles are masters of ambush, lurking just beneath the surface of billabongs, estuaries, and even popular beaches. Their stealth is unmatched. A ripple on the water, a flash of movement, and a strike that can happen in an instant. The numbers tell a sobering story. Since 1974, 21 people have lost their lives to crocodile attacks in the Northern Territory. In 2023 alone, there were 4 fatal incidents, a record for a single year. Over 30 deaths have been recorded since the late 1960s, making these waters some of the most dangerous in Australia. Yet the crocodile population has rebounded spectacularly, with an estimated 100,000 individuals now inhabiting the territory. That's nearly 1 croc for every 2 people living here. The threat is never theoretical. In July 2024, tragedy struck at Mango Creek when a 12-year-old girl was taken by a crocodile while swimming with family. The community response was swift, but the loss was a stark reminder that these predators are a constant presence. Warning signs, no swim zones, and regular sighting reports have become part of daily life in the top end. Locals know to respect the red and white croc alert signs and to avoid waterways after dark or during the wet season, when crocodiles are most active. For residents and visitors alike, the lesson is clear. In the Northern Territory, the deadliest animal is not just a relic of the wild, it's a neighbour, and respect is the only safe way to share its world. As the countdown closes, one final twist redefines the entire story of Australia's deadliest animals. The most dangerous creature on the continent is not a snake, a spider, a crocodile, or even the towering cassowary. It is the mosquito, a tiny insect whose bite changes lives not with fangs or claws, but with invisible pathogens carried on the wind. Across every state and territory, from the tropics of Queensland to the southern reaches of Victoria, mosquitoes thrive wherever water collects and warm weather lingers. Their reach is unmatched, their presence woven into daily life from backyard barbecues to remote cattle stations. The numbers tell a story that is easy to overlook. Each year, Ross River virus alone triggers an average of 4,800 notifications nationally, with Queensland logging 3,225 mosquito-borne virus cases in 2024. Within that, 1,701 were Ross River infections, and 378 were dengue, illnesses that can leave people bedridden for weeks or even months. The danger does not end there. In Western Australia, a single case of Murray Valley encephalitis in 2024 proved fatal, a stark reminder that the consequences can be sudden and severe. Japanese encephalitis, long considered rare, caused 2 deaths in 2025 after reappearing in southern states, forcing a new generation of Australians to confront the risks carried by a single bite. Unlike the dramatic encounters with crocodiles or snakes, mosquito danger is silent and constant. Their threat comes not from aggression, but from sheer numbers and the diseases they transmit. Ross River, Barmah Forest, dengue, Murray Valley encephalitis, and Japanese encephalitis among them. These viruses stretch across the country, with outbreaks following floods, summer rains, and the shifting patterns of climate. The impact is measured not just in deaths, but in hospital beds filled, workdays lost, and lives changed by chronic fatigue and joint pain. Locals have learned to adapt. In the north, long sleeves and insect repellent are as essential as sunscreen. Councils drain standing water, health authorities issue alerts, and vaccination campaigns target those at highest risk. Yet the fight is ongoing. Mosquitoes breed in city gutters as easily as in wetlands, making vigilance a year-round necessity. The scale of their impact dwarfs the headline-grabbing predators. In the past 2 years alone, mosquito-borne diseases have killed more Australians than all crocodile, snake and spider attacks combined. The lesson is clear. Australia's deadliest animal is not the one that lurks in the shadows or stirs primal fear, but the one that arrives without warning in the ordinary moments of daily life. In the end, it is the smallest threat that commands the greatest respect and the broadest response across the continent. Across every state and territory, one theme cuts through the myth. Australia's deadliest threats aren't always the most famous or fearsome. They're the ones closest to where we live, work and play. From saltwater rivers to suburban backyards, risk is woven into our landscapes. Respect, not panic, is our best defense. For more stories from Australia's wild side, subscribe and join the adventure.